Bro, do you believe in ghosts and stuff like that?
Not really.
I gotta tell you the craziest ghost story ever. Give me. I gotta tell you this. This is the craziest thing ever. When we lived in Raleigh, off Six Forks Road.
I remember Colonial. I know.
Right. Before, I don't know if you remember. Before we moved into that apartment, we lived over there near Crabtree Valley Mall. That's what.
Yeah. Like
So
our polo club run and all
exactly.
that. Right?
So we moved from there before we had our daughter. We moved over to Six Forks Road. But anyway, so what I would do, we moved piece by piece. Long story short, my ex was in the new Six Forks apartment one night, hanging up curtains by herself. You know, we was kind of like get prepared. And I was off at WRL working out because I worked in the evenings, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got back later on that day, you know, at the other apartment, I said, why? I said, how'd it go? She said, I was putting up some curtains, but I just felt uneasy in there. So I just came back over here. I said, okay, cool, no problem, man. Fast forward, after we had our daughter, I don't know if you remember those old headboards that had the glass in it, like them old cheap headboards, you know, had like the like
like
the mirrors, mirror, right. So one night, one weekend, my kid was smart. She took him back to her hometown. I was there alone on Six Forks Road at the apartment. I fell asleep at the foot of the bed watching the NBA finals. I fell asleep there. In the middle of the night, the TV went off because I guess it was on those old timers. It went off. So my head was on the edge of the bed, and I felt the bed kind of go down. So I thought it was her coming back. I looked up. I kind of turned to the side and looked. It was this guy sitting on the edge of the bed, looking towards the closet where she told me she was feeling kind of funny like a few months before. I looked I kind of like raised my head up and looked at the mirror, and I saw the person sitting there, and I bit my lip to make sure I was not dreaming. No, hold on. This is the craziest part right here. A few months later, I told her about it. A few months later, her cousin came to visit. I was downstairs in the middle of the night. She woke up in the middle of the night and said, "Hey, there's a man in your room." I can call Tori right now. She'll tell you the exact same story. Unbelievable, bro. And I said, I told y'all thought I was crazy, man. Yeah, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I didn't believe in ghosts until then, but I saw that motherfucker sitting right beside me.
What did he look like?
He was just a tall guy. He was talking, and he was looking towards the closet. He was sitting in the bed looking towards the closet. And I looked up in the mirror because I was at the foot. I'm like, what the fuck? And I kind of turned, I bit my lip to make sure I was not dreaming. And I came back, I couldn't explain it to her. And she was like, yeah. She's like, well, that kind of makes, because it kind of made her, it tagged with her story. She's like, well, I guess, And then when her cousin came by a few months later, it tied all that shit. And I said, I told you thought I was crazy, man. Yeah.
And what the cousin saw, and she said, what?
She said, there's a man in your house.
She thought the man was with you?
No, she saw the ghost. She saw the same thing I saw. But I never told a cousin. I never told a cousin that came to visit. I told Toya. And we just kind of talked about it amongst ourselves, right? But when a cousin, because she never, I guess outside of her mind, she never mentioned it again. But when a cousin came to visit in the middle of the night, boom, she said, and I was downstairs asleep on the couch because she was sharing rooms with Toya. And I'm like, because it woke me up when she was screaming. And I get up, I said, instead of making sure she was all right, hey, man, you all right? First I said, I told you thought I was lying. And I saw that for real. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I was like, man, I don't believe some crazy shit like it, but but when I saw that shit, it was the most. I slept with the lights on probably for about a month or two. Seriously,
you and that man.
Yeah, me and that man.